Hello and welcome to Cigar Box Guitars, aka the Dutchman in San Marcos. I am the DISM, and we're coming to you with another show of the King B. Didn't get the strings on, got everything set, but let's get going. All right, so here we go. We're working on the King B still. I did finish up getting all the strings on, as you can see. It's all strung up. I plugged it into an amp and it plays. This knob's the volume's a little flaky, but if you look closely at it, I'll try to get it up here. There's something wrong with it, and that is this pickup. This pickup right here is off center because this should be right over here. So it needs to move this way. So now that I got a hole in the box, I got to decide what I'm going to do with that. And I'm thinking about taking this out and putting another piece over it because I got enough room between the strings so I could raise it up, and it probably would still have enough room. And then move it over and then put like a piece over so you can't see this. So you can't see this cutout part. So that might be a future thing, but let's get this thing tuned up and intonated and get it working. But because and get some corners on here. I'm not going to worry about this as much because it's not a really fancy player. I probably will leave it the way it is because otherwise I got to cut into it, and it just, it just makes it look that it's unique. It's homemade the way it's mounted. So let me get you over to the bench and we'll get started in that. And right now it's not tuned, as you can hear, but it plays. Not in tune, but we'll work on that. So I'll get you over to the bench and you can take a look at that. So here we go. All right, so here we go. I got you on the bench shot now. Got you right down here. I did at one point, I drilled a hole in here to try to pull this down. And as you can see, I really didn't need to, so I took it out. There's still a gap in here that I might cut a piece of wood for. But oh well, I got a hole in there now. But anyways, it didn't work. It only pulled it down too far. So we got it all strung up, but that was a real pain putting the strings in here and feeding it through. But we'll get this tuned up. Let me get this thing so it's so I can see it the right way. I had it tuned up, but it keeps coming out. So then you check on the 12th fret. And it's not too bad. The only thing I'm having trouble with is the way it's going into, you probably can't see it, but the way it's going into tune. It's E now. I don't know if you can hear that on my mic. It's kind of far away. going too high on that one. It's got trying to get it into D. These tuners aren't the greatest, so you can't, when you move them, you can't get it quite spot on, but that's what happens when you got junky tuners. So it's closer in tune, but it's not sounding good because I don't know if the bridges are right. So I got to check that because it's definitely having tuning troubles. Let me check the distance. See, they're right where it's breaking. They're right on 25, and I think it's supposed to be 25 1/4. So that means these got to be pulled back. So let me try to pull them back some more. I think I'm going to have to loosen them all up. But let me show you and I didn't get started these, but I'll show you how the corners will go on, because that'll be the next step. What I'll do is I'll cut away. I'll see if I can adjust this bridge, because I'm going to have to take all the tension off in order to do that, and try to get them closer, because you can hear they're not, when you actually play it, they're not in tune. And that's because of the scale length. So we have to, but these, I got a lot of these actually. I didn't need 2 bags. But these will go in like this. I don't know if you can see that. But they didn't come with any little nails. So I got to get some nails. I looked, but I didn't go to Home Depot. But you can see these will be pretty nice when I get them on there. And I got enough for the bottom 4 too. So we'll get those put on there. And yeah, it's pretty much done. It's still kind of a work in progress, fine tuning it. and I'll work on that. My goal today is to at least get this part right, and actually so the chords will sound right playing, because you can see now, oops, you can see now it doesn't. No, I can't read if that's saying C sharp. Let me get my other glasses here. Or G sharp. B. There it is. So, we got it tuned. Let me get my little amplifier. I'll come right back. Let me put you on pause here a minute. And I'll get that little amplifier and I'll plug it in to show you. So you can see how that's going. Hang on, I'll go get it. Okay, once again I'm back with the little, remember the little amp I built? So let's plug this thing in. I'll show you. It might be a little flaky. I might be able to fix it with some of that contact stuff. I'll tip it up so you can hear it. So the volume and tone work. the B King is finished. The only glitch was this thing here should be over just a little bit more. But I don't know if I'm going to tear into it all. It is what it is. There's, imperfections on it. And that's the way these are. It's like trying to make something from, and I'll have to put a little stain on this to make that look a little nicer. And then I'll get these corners. I get these corners put in. Like I said, it didn't come with the little nails. So I got to find those at the Home Depot and then put those in. But I think I'm going to go both sides, so I'll go on this side too. So they'll be on there, which will look nice. Not bad. I have to get used to this. Is a narrow neck, but I'd have to get used to it. So there we go. The B King came together. And the other little weird thing is this is a white knob now. That's kind of a cream color, but anyways, it is what it is. It's got its own character. I did like the way this came. Here, let me take this guy off. I like the way this came out with the old Del Rey thing on there, which is pretty cool. So a little bit more tweaking and tuning. It became a nice little twanger. So that'll have it. That'll be the wrap up of the King B cigar box. I don't know which one's next. Haven't thought of that, but we'll have to think about that. I can do that new box. I found that orange one. I definitely have to do, and I've been putting it off, but now I started with this train thing, so now I'm really, really goofed up. But I'm gonna have to do one of those ones that I was trying to say was gonna do for Total Wine, so I could hang one up in there. Maybe I'll work on that next. Like I was saying, when I found that orange box, I found a bunch of these little ones like this, where if I could find these little amps, I could probably make more like that, which would be kind of nice, especially when I start selling some of them, to include a little amp for it, because this little amp is battery powered, because the only plug I got is this plugged in, and I got a clip for clipping it to your pants. It's got a place for a headphone for practicing, and it does have a plug-in for your if you want to run it with one of those wall warts. So there we have it. We will see you next week. Like I was saying on my shorts, I'm trying to develop that Redwind clay train. Let me turn you around real quick and say goodbye. So here we go. Let me turn this off. I'll just flip it forward. So that's the end of the B King. I hope you enjoyed that. I had mistakes in it. There's still mistakes in it. But as you can see, that's half the fun, because it definitely says homemade. It's not off the production line with all the lasers and fancy equipment. It's just hand built with these two hands. And taking old parts that they would have thrown that guitar away just because of the way the guitar was. So Look forward to my new content. Put in the comments what you think about this. I've been advertising it on my shorts of showing my model train build, which will be quite extensive. It'll take a while, but I was thinking about throwing the content of that on my longer regular show like this, where it would be a show of itself. I would title it with the model, the Red Wing Clay Train, and still doing the cigar box guitars. But let me know what you think if you would like to see some of that stuff from the DISM. That's me. And we will see you next week. Same time, same bat station, and have a good one.